Watching is good, but it's time to understand. I have the chart open, and that's enough to observe, and it's important to look at the bigger picture, not just one element. The chart reached an area where things have changed before. Everything I'm showing is not an instruction, but a reason to think. If you've ever felt like you're living according to a schedule that doesn't suit you, I understand how that feels. 10 years ago, I was working at a standard routine and dreamed of just a little bit of freedom. Weekends felt like a break, but really I was just trying to escape the routine. Then Monday came again and it all started over. On top of that, you've probably noticed the same thing. Prices change over the year, and what seemed stable not long ago suddenly isn't. I increasingly realized that it's not just important to work, but to be smarter about what you have. I wanted more clarity, more understanding of how to navigate what's happening without panic, but with a feeling that you can rely on something. My name is Simon Becker. 10 years ago, I got interested in trading, not because of a magic button, but because I wanted to understand why people make the decisions they do. I started small, observing, analyzing, reading. In this video, I'll show you my approach, which I've used for a long time. You'll see how I think, what I watch for, and how I approach decision making. If you're interested in watching the process and gradually understanding the logic, this video could be a great starting point. Let's begin. By the way, I created a community where we explore how to approach analysis together. There's no theory for theory's sake. Everything is built around the real process, the screen, the logic, the discussion. If you've never been into trading before, it's okay. Everything is explained in plain language without information overload or rush. One participant wrote to me, I turned it on to watch, and for the first time I understood how important it is not to guess, but to observe and think. Inside, there are recorded live sessions, feedback, and a calm pace where no one expects you to be an expert. You can see how it's organized and decide if this approach resonates with you. If you want to join, there is a link in the description below this video or in the pinned comment. I'll be waiting for you. Now I'll show you how I approach analysis on screen in real time. No guessing, no pressure, just observation, reasoning, and logic. Let's get started. I have the chart open, and that's enough to observe and think about what's happening and how market participants react. This is a calm process of observation and analysis. On the screen, you can see the chart slightly dropping to a point where reversals have happened before. This is a moment worth noting. I observe without emotional conclusions, just watching if the familiar pattern repeats. Sometimes it's enough to just look at your phone screen to realize that something in price behavior is starting to change. The key is not to rush, but to notice. The chart reached an area where things have changed before. The line color on the screen also changed. This might be a hint that the mood of market participants is shifting again. If important turns happen in similar situations before, this is a reason to pay attention, based on observation, not guessing. After the line moved up, the visual tool confirmed the same dynamic. It looked like a logical continuation of the movement already underway. When the chart behavior stays consistent, that's also information. Not a reason to act hastily, but an opportunity to compare and draw conclusions. The chart started moving in a zone where there was a lot of activity before. The line changed color again. It's clear that participants began making decisions more actively. In moments of uncertainty, it's important to look at the bigger picture, not just one element. That's when market logic shows itself. How do you feel? You didn't come here by accident, right? When we feel interested in something new, that's already a step. My community is all about the approach. No rush, no pressure. I explain how to observe the market and reflect on actions. Every day, live. We learn together. People ask questions, we discuss, draw conclusions. Even if this is your first time hearing about it, it's okay. Everything is explained clearly, step by step. You learn at your own pace. If you want to check it out and feel the vibe, there's a link in the description below this video or in the pinned comment. Everything is open. Start by observing. Meanwhile, let's continue. The chart sharply changed direction, moving downward. The color on the screen also changed. This gave me a reason to note the situation is starting to turn. Not everything moves in a straight line. It's important not to miss such turns, especially when watching your phone screen live. After a short pause, the chart returned to a familiar point, the color changed again, and the situation reminded me of what happened before. Repeating situations don't guarantee results, but offer hints on how to think more calmly and confidently. The line began to drop again, and the tool showed changes. It looked like a return to the previous movement. If the chart goes where it went before, that's not a signal, but information worth looking at from a broader perspective. At this point, the price seemed stuck between two boundaries. When it rose to the upper one, the tool changed color again. This can be seen as a possible end of the growth phase. Sideways movement is interesting. It can be calm but holds a lot of meaning if observed carefully. During the pullback, the chart again approached the familiar zone where reversals occurred before. The color changed. It felt like behavior was starting to shift again. These moments are important not for predictions, but to train attentiveness. The market often repeats logic, not specific numbers. In conclusion, the chart again showed a familiar reaction from a level where there was activity before. The tool confirmed that the trend persists. It's important not just to observe, but to understand how one action leads to another. Everything I'm showing is not an instruction, but a reason to think. Remember, all market actions require attention. It's not magic, but a process you can understand if you watch calmly and always with risk in mind. You've just got an idea that trading is not about guessing or magic buttons. It's about clarity, observation, and confidence built step by step. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads. One path is to keep going the usual way. The other is to step into a space where you can learn something new without rush or pressure, where every step is explained and you always know why it's done. In my trading community, that's exactly how we go. Every live session is practice. You can watch, ask questions, observe the logic, and learn from real examples. If this approach resonates with you, there's a link in the description below this video or in the pinned comment. Take a look inside how it's organized and move at your own pace. The main thing is not to be afraid to start. Bye for now.